This video demonstrates how to configure multi-egress server mapping on a USG6000F series firewall to allow internet users to access an intranet server through NAT Server. In this video, WAN interfaces of the firewall are planned in different security zones, and users of different ISPs access the intranet server through different public IP addresses. In this topology, the WAN interfaces of the firewall connected to ISP1 and ISP2 are planned in security zones Untrust 1 and Untrust 2, respectively. The intranet server's private IP address 10.2.0.8 needs to be mapped to ISP1 public IP address 1.1.1.10 and ISP2 public IP address 2.2.2.10 with the private and public ports both set to 21. Users of ISP1 access the intranet server through public IP address 1.1.1.10 and port 21. Users of ISP2 access the intranet server through public IP address 2.2.2.10 and port 21. This figure shows the process of configuring multi-egress server mapping. Let's begin by logging in to the web system. Then, create security zones. Choose Network Zone. Click Add, create security zones Untrust 1 and Untrust 2, and set their priorities to 10 and 20, respectively. Now, let's configure interfaces. Choose Network Interface, click the Edit button of 10GE0/0 seconds, and set Intranet Interface Parameters. Set Zone to DMZ. Enter private IP address 10.2.0.1/24 in the IP address text box. Click the Edit button of 10GE0/0 firsts and set WAN interface parameters. Set zone to Untrust 1. Enter public IP address 1.1.1.1/24 in the IP address text box. Click the Edit button of 10GE0/0 thirds and set WAN interface parameters. Set zone to Untrust 2. Enter public IP address 2.2.2.2/24 in the IP address text box. After that, configure server mapping for ISP1. Choose Policy NAT Policy Server Mapping. Click Add and select Allow Internet Users to Access Server. Configure a server mapping name. Set zone to Untrust 1, public IP address to 1.1.1.10, and private IP address to 10.2.0.8. Toggle on Specify Protocol, select TCP, and set both public port and private port to 21. Enable Allow Server to use public IP address for internet access and auto-generate black hole route. To ensure that the firewall can correctly forward the traffic destined for the intranet server, we need to configure a security policy. To simplify the configuration, enable the Allow Server Access Traffic function and configure a security policy name. The corresponding security policy is automatically generated. Then, configure server mapping for ISP2. Click Add and select Allow Internet Users to Access Server. Configure a server mapping name. Set zone to Untrust 2, public IP address to 2.2.2.10, and private IP address to 10.2.0.8. Toggle on Specify Protocol, select TCP, and set both public port and private port to 21. Enable Allow Server to use public IP address for internet access and auto-generate black hole route. Similarly, enable Allow Server Access Traffic and configure the name of a security policy to be generated. Next, let's enable the NAT ALG function for FTP. Choose Policy is greater than ASPF configuration, select FTP, and click Apply. Configure Sticky Load Balancing. In the multi-egress server mapping scenario, internet users may fail to access the intranet server if packets have different forward and return paths. To ensure consistent forward and return paths, configure the Sticky Load Balancing function on the WAN interfaces of the firewall. Click the WAN interface 10GE0/0 firsts connected to ISP1, enable Sticky Load Balancing, and set the default gateway address to 1.1.1.254. Click the WAN interface 10GE0/0 thirds connected to ISP2, Enable sticky load balancing, and set the default gateway address to 2.2.2.254. After the sticky load balancing function is enabled, the firewall uses the source interface of request packets as the outbound interface of the response packets sent by the intranet server, instead of searching the routing table to determine the outbound interface. This ensures consistent forward and return paths for the packets exchanged between users and the intranet server. Configure route. After completing the configuration on the firewall, contact ISP network administrators to configure a static route on their respective egress router connected to the firewall, with the destination address of the route set to the public IP address mapped to the corresponding server. In this way, the traffic destined for the intranet server can reach the firewall.